Let us start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sad. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sura meraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Idang me silang Maga Palanyanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta. Okay, let us start with metta. Now, let us sit here. Whatever thoughts, plans, we put it aside. Also, all the Vipassana objects, we put it aside. Just be aware of the body. Keep the body relaxed, calm and peaceful. Keep the mind here and now, free from all the tension. From top of the head, slowly relax the forehead, face, neck, shoulders and arms. Relax the chest, stomach area, spine, buttocks. Relax the hips, relax the thighs, relax the calf, ankle, soles, toes. So relax the body, keep the mind open, peaceful and calm. May I be free. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. May I be healthy. And may I truly be happy. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. May I be healthy. And may I truly be happy. Now let us reach out. Reach out our goodwill, good thoughts to all the beings in this meditation center, in this locality or neighborhood. May they be humans or non-humans, guardian devas of this center or this locality, other devas around here. And all the unfortunate beings, the betas, animals, seen or unseen. May all beings around here, may they be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering. May they be free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful. May they all be well. May they all truly be happy. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful, be well, and truly be happy. Now let us spread this metta, spread our goodwill, good thoughts, spread the loving kindness to all the beings in this country. May they be humans or non-humans, devas or betas, animals big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this country be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings, may they all be peaceful. May all beings in this country, may they all be well, be healthy, and truly be happy. May all beings in this country be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they be well. And may they all truly be happy. Now let us reach out. Let us reach out to all the beings in this whole wide world. Let our goodwill, good thoughts envelop the whole wide world. May they be our loved ones, near or far away. May they be those whom we do not know, wherever they are, or those whom we dislike, or those who dislike us. To all the guardian devas of the sasana, to all other devas residing in this world, to all the petas, to all the animals, big, small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Truly be free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering, may all beings in this world able to live in peace and not in war. Live with kindness and compassion and not in cruelty or violence. May all beings be well. May they all be healthy. May they all truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well. May all beings in this world truly be happy. Now let us reach out. Reach out to all beings in this whole universe or universes. All beings without exception, without condition or without boundary. All beings from the highest planes of existence down to the lowest planes of existence. All beings from all the world systems. May all beings without condition be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all have peace in their heart. May they all able to live in harmony with themselves and with others. May all beings be well. May they all be healthy. May they all truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well. May all beings truly be happy. May all beings be peaceful, be well, and may all beings truly be happy. And slowly we let go of the metta. Slowly we let go of the metta. We bring our attention back again to the whole body. Feel the body. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Then slowly we open our eyes. Yeah. Before we start the Dhamma talk, there are a few things that I'd like to mention. First, lunchtime. Lunchtime, we will shift to slightly earlier, to 11:15 right now. But the bell rings around maybe 11:10, 5 minutes or 10 minutes before 11:15. So earlier on, we have 11:30 because the cook and the boys need to adjust to the place. Yeah. So I said, they said 11:15, okay. So this is one thing. Hey, this is for my retreat only, not for the next retreat. I'm not sure. This all depends on the organizer or the teacher. The next one, here in the Sima Hall, afternoon is very hot. So you can open up the mosquito doors, the netting, the sliding door from 1 to 6 p.m. Morning is okay. Evening, of course, the insects and mosquito will start coming in. But this time, not much mosquito, so it's good. So we tried that before in the past, a few times. Open the mosquito net. It seems to be a bit better. Okay, next thing. Next one. They're going to repair the tiles tomorrow. So today they said that the contractor bought the tiles, and tomorrow they may start to repair some tiles there. So it's going to be a bit disturbing. It may also be a bit noisy, maybe a bit dirty also. Yeah. So y'all got to bear up, lah, huh? So we'll see. And also, usually on the next thing is that usually on Tuesday and Friday, after, before you go for breakfast, normally we ask the yogis to take all your cushions up to the, up there, so that the boys can able to mop the floor. But this week, since we're going to do the tiles, so no point, huh? I'm not sure yet. Huh? We'll see how it goes. But normally is that Tuesday, Friday, you have to take up the cushions up before breakfast, so that the boys can come up during breakfast. But anyway, this one, for the meantime, it's we wait and see how the repair goes on. Okay, so just bear up again. Everything got to bear up this time. All right. So yesterday we talked about the the finer forms of this, the subtle part of the defilements, that we have to see it even when we are in the retreat. The defilements come in not because you break the precept. The defilements come in because it's just defilement, and they are subtle, and it can be a habit of the mind. Normally, a lot of times out there, we don't take note of these things. So during the retreat, all these small things, it has to be noted as best as you can. It will be difficult, but as your mindfulness keep growing, and you try here and there, trial and error, then you're able to pick it up. Especially for a beginner, to pick up these things, it helps you to sort of like disentangle a lot of things, in the sense that your laziness is checked. Your desire is checked. Your wanting is checked. And that is great, because if you check it for a number of times, like for example, as I said, if you are doing the walking, and then we don't go into drinking, or if there's desire to come up for, to have coffee or tea or whatever, then you take note of those desire. Or the mind wants to go, or during walking, you want to do something else, like go to your room, go to your bed. Then you got to take note of those things, to pull the mind back from executing the actions. So sometimes we may not even the intentions also. We may know the intention, but we have to take note whether the intention is suitable for us to execute through or not. During the walking meditation, when we know the intention, fine. That one, it's already you're used to it, so it's fine. We don't consider it so much. But at other times, we may need to consider whether our action or speech needs to be executed or not. Sometimes there may be a desire to talk to another yogi. Then you ask yourself, is it necessary? Is it important? So a lot of times it may not be important. So we hold back our tongue, our actions. But in other conditions, in other times, there may be a emergency. So during emergency, we need to exercise what we need to be, we need to do. Uh, so these type of things, when you can able to differentiate so many ways, you begin to notice all your finer defilements in your heart. And this one, you can able to extend out to your everyday life. Then we can able to check our ulterior motive, especially when we are out there. If we don't check it, it always doing the same thing again and again without we realizing it. Yeah? Doing the same bad habit again and again without we realizing it. Antagonizing others, and we think that is okay. Yeah? So all these type of things are. So you begin to look into it, you'll find that your mind and your body becomes, especially your mind becomes more straighter. And you don't have that, hiding your second facade. You're hiding. There's another face behind it. Uh, so there are many people out there are like that. Many people can do that, but hopefully you don't do that, because those are defilements. Ego, desire, wanting, anger. Not anger, sometimes it's just a matter of dislike. A slight aversion is there. So it's good for us to see those things. And during the Vipassana, the training is something like that. Not just only on lifting, pushing, dropping. Not just only on rising, falling. If it's just only on rising, falling, lifting, pushing, dropping, then all your development is very narrow, actually. Yeah? Now, let us move on to the next one. We move on to the next one is to see that whether your object of your meditation is the right object or is not a suitable object. And this one, say is easy, but when you do it, and without guidance especially, a lot of times we're going to fall into the non-suitable objects of meditation. There are many non-suitable objects during meditation. Vipassana I'm talking over here. Don't confuse yourself with samatha meditation. We're talking that specifically for Vipassana meditation. Now, many times we say, hey, when you are walking, happen to see something, what are you supposed to do? Seeing. When you're not, when so happen to hear something, what do? Hearing. That's what we do. But not many people do it. Not many yogis do it. That is where, when we invite all these unsuitable objects come in, when we invite them in, it comes together with defilements also. It does not come just thoughts and thinking on it, but it comes with thoughts, thinking, emotion, fear, anger, desire, and so on. Everything comes together. In the Vipassana meditation, you are given the objects like rising, falling, you take note. You are given the lifting, pushing, dropping, to take note. You are given what else? Sitting, touching, pain, sensations of the body, itchiness. To take note of these objects. Then you pay attention. If you follow this one, you pay attention to the objects. If you start off with this way, well and good. But as you go further into the development, and that's where the mind becomes much more confusing. Unless your mindfulness is sharp enough. Now you see, when we are meditating, day in, day out, you arousing that mindfulness. And you keep on pushing, and you struggle to develop that mindfulness. When you develop that mindfulness, the mind become alert and clear for a certain period of time. And one of the characteristic of this mindfulness is to come face to face with the object, right? Go near to the object and see what is going on. When we say near to the object, it is also include non-vipassana object also. That means when the mindfulness is there, it also goes near to it. Other words, for example, when you meditate now, your thinking becomes clearer. Your thoughts becomes clearer. Your memories become clearer. Your planning becomes clearer, sharper also. Out there, you cannot plan anything, but sit here, all the planning, you know, everything one after another. Then you plan. But why is it that it become clearer? It because of mindfulness. Mindfulness makes everything clearer because it goes near to the object. It eliminates everything out. So it sees all your concept also become clearly. That's why you can plan so much. Plan and plan and plan and plan and plan. And sometimes we are so fascinated with, wow, our mind can plan so clearly one. Out there also cannot do. Meditate only can do everything. Yeah. Then you find it interesting. Interesting, yes. Yes, this is interesting, worldly interesting. Yeah. But they are not vipassana objects. But you fall into it. You fall into all the story, the planning, you go and follow and follow and follow. You see what I mean right now? It's because of sometimes we cannot differentiate. And sometimes we delight in those type of planning or thinking. We delight into it. We delight into it because it connected to your everyday life or connected to your work, connected to your job, connected to your career. No. Sometimes some yogis, they come to meditation retreat. They may have some work problem or some problem hanging there. Then after that, they come into the retreat. So they meditate. Then that problem all pop up. So there they are, only you solve that problem, only you come gone, You feel good about yourself. Then only you go rising, falling, sitting, touching. If you don't finish it, no, you're not going to let it go. So there are a number of yogis are like that. And sometimes they even have like, yogis, maybe let's say, or they may want to give a speech after the talk, not after after the retreat, maybe, some presentation that they need to go. They meditate only, they put the book beside there, put the book beside there. Then they meditate. Wow, clear already. Wow, this is I'm going to talk. Then they take out the book, then they write everything. Then meditate again. You see what they do? All kinds of people just fall into all this trap. Yeah. So as I said, as you become more clearly in the meditation, this type of unsuitable objects arises as clear as your meditation object. So not only on the future planning, but also it goes into memory. Now, when it goes into memory, sometimes it can be emotional. All the emotional, the anger, the fear is all going to manifest. And that fear, that anger, that whatever it is going to be enlarged, magnified. And whether you can able to withstand those emotional, ups and downs during in the meditation retreat. If you cannot, you'll see that the yogis start to cry. Uh, they start to cry. Betahan. Yeah. They cannot take it anymore because the mind is totally unstable. They fall into that trap. Or sometimes they fall into the joy of the joy, when they are young or when they're this one, then they have good times, then they fall into that, and then after that, all the joy start coming up. And then they're not meditating. They feel good, but they are not meditating. Yeah? So these kind of things is what we call conceptual objects. Yeah? The mind create these objects. In the present, it is not happening, but the mind replay it or reconstruct it, the whole thing all over again, reconstruct the face, reconstruct the situation, and sometimes even redo all the situation inside there. It change the story around so that just to fit your emotion states during that time. So the mind is able to twist it in one way or another. If you are not careful, you fall into that trap. Then sometimes it's very hard to pull you out. Yeah? But the yogi usually will know because they know that they are not progressing. They know they are not progressing after some time. They will know that these are not the right objects. Yeah? So they fall into those traps. Yeah? So here we are. While we are meditating, when you are given the objects, this rising, falling, sitting, touching, there is a reason. There are reasons why that it has the Vipassana has to take these objects. Because these objects are directly known, not created by the mind. Directly known. That is to say, even you don't label it, these are you can feel it, you can notice it. And when you notice it clearer, it shows you even more characteristic. That is to say, there are deeper characteristics as how it arises, how it sustains, how it disappears. Or there will be characteristic of anicca, dukkha, anatta arising and passing away again and again in a very fast manner, depending on your level, depending on your development. So all these things, when the Vipassana, when it shows you all the characteristic in a nutshell, when you see this characteristic clear enough, then eradication of defilement will take place in the Magga, and realization of Nibbana will take place. That is to say, an ending of your samsara. Only you see this type of characteristics as you go through, then seeing Nibbana is only possible. It is only possible. If you go through all this conceptual creation of the mind, then these are all created Nibbana. Your mind thought Nibbana, the mind thinking type of Nibbana. And these are not the real one. But it can be very real. It can be so real that you don't even realize it is fake one. Yeah. Just like people sell you the Rolex, so real. If you do not know how to look at it, you'll be swindled. So real. Nowadays, so many things, they can make it so perfectly original. Almost like original. If you don't have a sharp eye for us to detect it, then we lost a lot of things. So too in Vipassana also. The mind is even more cunning, even more manipulative. You create something for you so that you'll feel good about it. And yet, we must not fall into its trap. Yeah. Now, for example, another thing is like labeling. Labeling also is a form of concept. It's a form of created by the mind. But we still need to use concept, especially in the beginning part of our meditation. Because that concept is very helpful. That labeling is very helpful. It directs the mind to the object for the beginner. That's why for the beginner, you have to keep on labeling, rising, falling, sitting, touching, ti, ta, ta, and, you have to go through all those things because it helps the mind to stay with the object. If you don't put the labeling there, then it's very easy for the mind to go out. Yeah? But because of that, this labeling also, then sometimes there are different schools of thoughts. It says, why is it necessary for us to label? After all, this is concept. We must be away from all the concept in order to see things as they really are. We cannot have those concepts to become cover up everything. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, in a certain sense, not to say that they are wrong, but they are not looking at the applied development of a yogi. Yeah. Unless you are like super genius yogi that you have been practicing so much in the past life, then you come in, the teacher say a few words only, or you can count him already. Just like the Buddha's time, that's how these people are. The Buddha gave a bit of Dhamma talk already. After that, they go and meditate. They progress. Oh, Nibbana liao. Here, how many times you have listened to this talk? The same things. We cannot go through, cannot penetrate through. We don't have that. We don't have that development. So, 99.9% of 99.99% of us, we don't have that skill. So we have to have that labeling to help us in the beginning part. Those are concepts. But sometimes there are yogis who are more, they really particular about words one, then so jialat one. Because if you say the pain must be chun, they will think first how to describe the pain. Is the pain pulling pain? It's not really pulling pain. It's more like a heart pain. Is it truly heart pain? Look at it. No lah. It's just because the words is not right for it, There are people like that. He has to get words right. They are so much more attracted to the what words to label it rather than paying attention to what is going on that pain or on that object. You see what I mean right now? It's so easy for them to get caught into the concept. And then they hold on to those concepts, hold on to those thoughts, and then they forget about their actual meditation object. So there are people like that. Not many, but there are people like that. Now, when you do this labeling, if somehow you can remember the words, then remember the words rising, falling, up, down. Sometimes even people use the word rising, falling for the motion that is go up, down. Doesn't matter. It's perfectly all right. As I said, there are people who wants to do a lot of lifting, pushing, dropping, treading, so many names on They can't even remember all the names. So not necessary to have so many labeling during in the walking. And there are yogis who are very particular on the naming of those each phase, Like for example, if you lift up your leg, then let's say 2 parts up, they won't call it rising anymore. They call it rising, lifting. Then after that, it goes up. Then after that, there must be another name for treading and pushing. Treading is one thing, pushing is one thing. Then after that, lowering down, touching, stepping. They must go through all those things, every word to go through all those. So every time they are very particular about every word just to go through everything. Yeah. Some people like it in that way. Some yogis are in that category. And that is where sometimes they are more, to them, those words are very important to them. And that can be a hindrance for their progress. Normally, for me, I keep things simple. If you have two rising in the lifting, then just label like rising, rising. Then if you have three pushing, let's say pushing, pushing, pushing. If you have just only one pushing, then label it one pushing. Then you don't have to think so many words. Yeah. People ask you, how many steps are you doing? Actually, you're doing so many steps. You don't even count how, because each and every labeling process that you go through, technically is counted one, counted one step. But we don't use different words. We just use similar words in order to notice more things. To keep things simple. But once in a while, if you have like the word extra, like touching, stepping down, touching, it's fine. It's fine. It's not to say that you must mm, stick with the three words and so on. Sometimes you have a little bit more. It's not a matter, but don't purposely try to think the word out. That can be a problem. So it's naturally come out, then fine. So labeling also must be, there are also ways how we can do it. So in the beginning part, especially you come in the first few days of your retreat, even if you're an advanced meditator, having done a number of retreats, it's good to have the labeling with you. Now for the advancement, once the mindfulness all picks up, then object changes much more faster, much more clearer. Once it starts to pick up, that's where we begin to drop the labeling. You drop the labeling, the mind only take notice what is going on. That is good. That is wonderful. Because that labeling, when things are changing faster, the words cannot be able to catch up on the changes of the phenomena of the objects. So you got to slowly drop the labeling off until it's completely no labeling at all. Yeah. So this one is depending on the level of the development of the yogi. So if you don't think that it is there, then it's good to keep with the labeling. Yeah. The rule of the thumb is this. If you can able to see like rising, falling, one by one, let's say the object coming one by one, then you label it. You label it. If you begin to notice that objects are changing much faster, for example, you notice your pain. Then you notice your pain and your pain like, hey, after here heart pain, and then after it disappear, then it goes to the pulling pain. Pulling pain, after it go to a numb pain. Numb pain, it goes to a hot pain. Hot pain, it come back to this. It's like you're running here and there. It's like very random. So while it happening in this one, so you may not have all the time there. So you, for a short while, you drop the labeling and try to notice what is going on. There's a rule of the thumb, general rule. So when things become slow down again, like for example, it goes back to rising, falling again, it slow down again, and then put the labeling there. That would be helpful to you. Okay. So we use the concept to help us, to aid us in the development of this Vipassana. Of course, in the everyday world, we are living with these thoughts and ideas and concepts. You cannot be free from it. We cannot be free from it. But you must learn how to differentiate them when you are meditating. For example, when you are chewing, you're biting, chewing, you're noticing how the movement is like, hardness, softness. Then you think about, hey, the chicken bo gao kiam. Hey, the chicken not enough salt. Pop, you go into concept already. So easy. Not that you won't think, you will think. The thing is that you don't get attached to what you are thinking. If you are attached to what you are thinking, that is the fault there. The thinking will naturally come up. Not that you won't thinking. Not that you won't think. You bite something, you bite that thing, you know that it's vegetable. The moment that you think that it is vegetable, it goes into concept. Fine. Yeah? You taste somehow the taste is not to your expectation, you will make a comment there. Fine. But don't add some more. Don't kaliu. Not on your food, but on your thoughts, Then they start to get more and more and more and more and more and more. That is where the problem is, Wow, then some people, a little bit not nice only. Afterward, I must go and tell the cook. After I must tell the boys. Oh, start planning already. Start planning. Yeah, it's not that you won't, It's just that there will be, but you don't get attached to it. You know that it arises. You learn to separate them. These are thoughts. Then what you should do, then you come back again to your biting, chewing, tasting, and so on. Then that is the right way to go. You cannot stop this concept from arising because this is part and parcel of the mind. The mind loves to create. Part of the characteristic of the mind is to create this type of concept so that we live in the everyday world. Yeah. It's just that you have to learn to draw the line there. Don't fall into it. Yeah. So most of the situation, we have to take note of all these type of things. You need to do something, for example, sometimes you need to think shortly for a while, you need to think about it, then fine, it's okay. You want to make a drink, you want to do something. Those are, you have to think about it, then you execute the action. Perfect, no problem. But don't overdo the whole thing. Yeah. Some people again, sometimes with that habit they have, some people, when they do a certain drink, they must make it in their certain way, in their certain manner, then only they feel good. Yeah. If they want to serve the coffee, they want to bring their own coffee machine there. A 3-in-1 tak boleh, And that's your fault already, because they desire so much. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that's happening within what is right and what is wrong. I'm not to say wrong, what is not suitable. So these are some of the, here is most of the time we can able to differentiate that. But some of the time we need to, be aware of the concept also, We cannot say that we cannot aware of the concept. One of the things that if you are in a long retreat, let's say suddenly COVID come in again, then you have to stay back here for another 3 months, let's say. Let's say you have to stay for 3 months or 6 months, cannot go anywhere. Every day, walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, sit. What will happen to your mind after the 6 months? Is that your concept will become much more less. So much so that when it comes less, that when your judgment of far and near is going to be a problem, especially when you start driving. Sometimes when the yogis go back from retreat, especially those who are driving, after take 1 month or 3 months, it's very hard for them to judge. Hey, usually you know how to park. You know how to park. But this time, see there, enough or not, long enough or not, far enough or not. You can't judge. Once or twice, we've seen yogis after the retreat, they got accident. Before they leave the gate. Because they cannot judge far and near. Far and near is concept. The far and near is all concept. Because you don't exercise it so much, then there'll be a time that the far and near is not, you're not used to it anymore. But after 3 or 4 days, everything come back again. Because habit and the mind all come back again. So here we have to be careful. You have to be careful. Yeah. Sometimes also, like for example, here in this toilet, especially the female toilet here, when you open the door, make sure you look first, before you go in. Because sometimes there may be snakes inside there. This is a forest, or even the male yogi down there, this is a forest. This is not your condominium, Forest, so therefore you got to be vigilant. Yeah. Don't open up, seeing, and then that's your problem already. Yeah. So you got to be aware of it. You got to be vigilant at certain times. So we are in the forest setting. In the forest setting, yeah, we try to clear things as best as possible, to keep things clearing the land and so on. But nevertheless, sometimes these things come, and it will be good to see how your emotion, whether they are going into craziness or stabilizing, especially when you look at the snake there, or even touching also. Some people look at the snake, what happened? Cold sweat come out. Just now they're super mindful, lifting, pushing, dropping. See the snake only completely gone habis. What type of mindfulness? Because the fear is not being noted. The fear is there. A lot of this training, a lot of our training is to overcome a lot of our phobia. Our phobia for snakes lah, phobia for kui lah, kui. There's no kui. Then sometimes every time they come in, Bante, can you put me with another yogi? And they not sleep alone. Problem. Okay, all this because it's not the problem with the kui, it's not a problem with the spirits or whatever, it's problem with your mindfulness, and you do not know how to note your own fear. A lot of these things, when we begin to notice our fear, to take note of it, fear, over a certain period of time, your mind becomes much more stabilized. Then, not to say that you don't go near them, not to say that when you see the snake, you don't go near them, if you do not know how to handle them. But the thing is that it's the fear that you cannot control. So it's the fear that you have to watch out for, not really the snake. You have to watch out for your fear that come up. Once you're able to stabilize your emotional states, it can have a long-term effect, and it's heal a lot of things. Now, in the past also, when I look at snake also, I also have cold sweat. But when you stay in the forest long enough, and then when you take note and you take note of the fear, you see the snake, you take note of the fear, then it becomes so much more, manageable, the fear. It's not that we manage the snake. We keep the snake far away. We don't have to manage the snake. But we manage our fear. Yeah. We manage this fear. Once you're able to manage this fear, next time when it comes around you, it's not be a problem anymore. But we just stay away from it. Mm. Recently, a few months ago, actually, I went for a walk near somewhere in Penang. Walk. Suddenly the snake start to hiss on us. When you hear the snakes like that, it's not a normal snake, it's the cobra. Normal snake don't like that. Normal snake, when you go near it, it will go away. But this type of snake, they won't run away one. They will try to face you. It was just my arm's length away only. But luckily, the arm's length is the tail arm's length. The head is further away, But still near, because I just was walking past it. So when I hear it, I still turn back to look at it. It raised its head, But I was a bit far here and there, It's a bit far, but it raised its head, So you see its cobra, the hood all come up. There's no fear. You keep it at its distance, no fear. But after I carry on my walk, bo si go This, that's how we train over time. The fear we slowly learn to overcome them. It's not that you cannot overcome them. It's just that whether when it happens, are you able to take note of that fear rather than the snake itself, yeah? Rather than whatever situation that you are in. So when you take note of these type of things, it helps you to overcome a lot of your problems, which is connected to a lot of our seeing, smelling, tasting, all these type of things. And it helps to stabilize a lot of things. You will come to a time that when the fear is able to be more controlled, then you go to a place where it's more alone, like in a meditation center, or when you stay in a room, does not matter at all. There's no the mind is not disturbed at all. In fact, that you welcome alone. Nobody disturb, nobody snore. As I said, you come to a retreat, sometimes you never know who your partner is in the room. This one. So next time, what do? You buy earplug. Pop. You get used to sleep with the earplug on, because the whole night you cannot notice hearing. Men like that. It's impossible for you to do that. Huh? So this is something. So we have to take note of this concept. Now, the concept can become much more refined as we go into deeper. And when I say refined, doesn't mean it's small, It's just that refined, and that means in the beginning, when you start meditating, you don't see that clearly. But when you are actually developing, these things become much more clearer than before. For example, like when you're meditating, then lights arises. Various kinds of lights arises. Some people have more, some people have less. Some people is just passing through, some people don't have it at all. Fine, it's perfectly all right now. So the problem is that sometimes a yogi, their mouth are very big and very. I went to meditate now. I can see all this light, that light now. Oh, next time you all go meditate also, you must go and see all this light also. Then you see all this light, then hold liao. That's where all blind leads the blind. The lights are not the problem. As I said just now, the same thing. When you think about the taste and think about the chicken, it's not a problem. You know that it's there. Only thing that you learn how to differentiate them, then go back to your actual meditation object. So do the same thing when you meditate, the lights will come up sooner or later. Different types of light, and it can become very bright for some yogis. Sometimes it can be a spotted light, sometimes the lights can be very spread out. It may be connected with the body, but the mind can enhance it even more clearer. So with this, the yogi also must be careful. Don't fall into its trap. It can be very beautiful. It can be very nice. And these type of things, you don't see it out there. When you are in meditation, you do see it. So these are also mind-made, created by the mind. You created by the mind, and then you take note of it. So you're not seeing, or lights. If it's still there, don't stay with it. Go back to your rising, falling, or sitting, touching, or whatever. It may be quite bright, as if like this spotlight. Then you just note, you just keep on noting what is going on. You know it's there. Not to say that you do not know it's there. You know it's there. You don't try to push it away. The more that you want to push it away, then if you don't realize it, it's your dislike arises. Your ill will or aversion arises already. And that aversion, if you don't notice it, then become a problem. Then it begin to wreak havoc in your noting mind. Yeah. So these type of things, it can create it very clear for you to see. Some people may not be lights. Some people may be like, maybe like you see like objects of faith, objects of faith, objects of sada. Those objects of faith are, for example, is like Buddha, Sangha, or you see a, activity of a wholesome activity, maybe a dana, maybe a katina, maybe a Vesak Day activity, and it comes into your mind. To you, you may think that, hey, this one is not unwholesome. This one, in fact, that, I never seen such a bright Buddha in front of me. So for those people with a lot of faith and they are very much inclined into faith, then they get like attached to it. They forget about their rising, falling, sitting, touching, or whatever, and they get attached to it. They find it is wonderful, and sometimes they can be quite pleasant and nice. So the concept becomes clear, and you do not know where you are dishonored. So it becomes clear, you get attached to the whole thing, and you forget about your meditation. No. You still think that you are doing Vipassana, but you are not doing Vipassana anymore. You're already out already. You're already out of the Vipassana path. Unless that time you know that this is just mind created thing only. Just not seeing, Buddha, 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 Buddha. It doesn't disappear, fine. Leave it at the background. Go back to your rising, sitting, touching, and so on. Because those things does not give rise to any form of arising, passing away. So this is one thing. So you take note of those things. It become finer. Now, when it comes to thinking, thinking here, when there's a lot of like thinking, restless mind arises, sometimes you may have like random thoughts coming in and so on. Now, those random thoughts, if you're into its story, into its drama, into its history, into its planning, but the moment you go inside there, that means you already go into all this wrong object or not suitable object. So a yogi must learn to come out from it and just note it as thinking, planning. Here, when you're not thinking, planning, here is that you are looking at the mental process of thinking that is happening here and now. If you are looking at the mental process, then it's the right object. But if you go into the story, into the drama, then that is not the suitable object for Vipassana. So it's a very fine line here. If you are not a meditator, if you are not a Vipassana meditator, it's very difficult for you to differentiate this out, to distinguish this thing out. And even if you are first time, second time meditation retreat, you can still try, but there will be a lot of times you'll be still inside the story. But it's always try to get out from that created thoughts and so on. And it can be very random. It can be very random. It can be also very specific. The theme can be very specific. It's about something. Then if the story keep going around it, then you fall into it. If you want to pull it, then you got to pull it out and not thinking, or worry, or desire, or restless. Label it, then it become helpful for you. Sometimes at the same time, if it's a mind, is a lot of thinking, then sometimes when you label it a bit softer. Thinking or planning, even though with the mind is a lot of activity inside there. This helps to calm the mind. It helps to soothe the mind. Soothe that restless thoughts. So as long as you go inside there, it is fine. Now, again, there are concepts may not come in words and thinking. It comes in just next to your noting mind. It's not labeling, but next to your noting. So this one you also have to be careful. For example, when we pay attention to the rising and falling, how does it how does it move? Oh, it moves like it move up, it move down. Sometimes it move like a balloon like that. Oh, we go up like a balloon like that. Yeah. Sometimes you're not sitting and touching. You know the sitting position. That's it. When you know the sitting position, while you are noting it, at the same time, at the background, you feel a shape of yourself. The shape of you are sitting. That is concept. But it's just come together with, it's just attached quietly onto it. Because this is the nature of how our mind works. When you're not like touching, you close your eyes, you're not touching. But while you're noting touching, you feel that all your 5 fingers also in front of you, of your noting, or your palm is there, or the shape of your palm is there. You still feel that. So when you feel the rising and falling, the same thing, you feel that there is a movement. How is the movement like? Oh, the movement is going sideways. The direction that is going, the direction that is moving there. So these are also concept. So it's going very near to us. Even when you lifting, pushing, dropping, the same thing also, even your eyes are looking 5-6 feet in front of you, but while you're noting the lifting, pushing, dropping, there's the shape of the labeling and the noting of the feet is still there with you. Even you touch down, if you don't look at it, but the shape of the foot may still be there to you. That is all concept, and it comes together with it. And it's many ways that it's going to come. How is the pain like? Oh, the pain is so hard. The pain is look like a lump. The pain is like something like this, like that. You can able to describe it in that sense. So these are all concept that is connected with the pain. Connected with the object. But as you develop further, that's where the concept slowly will disappear. The rising and falling is not like forward, backward anymore. It's just arise, pass away, arise, pass away. Which direction? You don't even know what direction. Which way does it go? You don't even know which way does it go, but you know that it exists. You know that it arises, it passes away in a very fast manner. It doesn't have that shape anymore. It doesn't have that balloon shape anymore. It doesn't have that staggering shape anymore. It's just everything is going to arise and passes away. Everything. You don't even able to differentiate between the arising and passing away of your touching and your rising and falling. What is heat and what is rising and falling? You don't even differentiate because everything goes into arising and passing away. Every object goes into that, and don't have the distinguishing of this and that anymore. Everything is just arising and passing away. You see, slowly and slowly, when you go into deeper into Vipassana, it breaks away a lot of this concept, worldly concept. But then, because you see those things arising and passing away, changing and everything, that's where the new perception arises. The new perception is the anicca, dukkha, anatta perception. And you see things much more clearly. If this concept is still around, then it's going to hinder the deeper aspect of this one. So, because of that, sometimes yogi fear. How come my rising, falling, not the same like in the past one. Last time can rise and fall sui like that. Now like this, like go here, go there. How come? Then when I look at my rising, falling, it still go up and down. But when I pay attention to it, it's all very different. Why? Because the concept is being broken a bit. The concept is being removed. So it's perfectly all right. But because yogis still hold on to their concept, that's where they get attached to what they want to see, connected to the past. If they cannot let go, that means they cannot go forward. Because they want to see what they want to see. New things coming in, new aspect coming in, new changes coming in. No, I'm not so interested. Interested in those what is comfortable. They don't want to go out of their comfort zone. Because why? The desire, it is more like craving, craving for their attachment to all this, how things should be. So that's why you say this concept can be very deep. It can be very deep. So letting go of this concept, it says easy, but when you are reaching it there, you don't even want to let it go because maybe out of fear, out of doubt, skeptical doubt, a number of things. Yeah? So if you can, you slowly let it go and truly see things as they really are. Okay? So enough for tonight. We're going to continue the Dhamma talk not tomorrow, but on the following night. Today is Sunday. How could you all know this is Sunday? No, switch it already, I think. This is a trick question, actually. If you stay long enough, you do not know what day is what day on. You do not know what is Sunday and Monday on. If you're working out there, then it's only true. Long enough. Yeah? Anyway, we're going to continue the talk on Tuesday. Yeah? So tomorrow, there's no Dhamma talk. Okay. Idam me bhavanam Nibbanasa Pachayo Hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no Punya Bhagang Sabba Satanang Dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe Satta Sukhi Hontu Anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these spirits. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.